Girl, it's what I heard. Allegedly, it's just the word. Allegedly, it's on the street. Allegedly, I say to the beat. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly, lee, lee, lee. Allegedly.
So let's get back to Carlos King and his reviews on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So wait a minute. You're going to have boring Teddi Mellencamp on this show before you have me. You're going to have Teddi Mellencamp. We didn't even want to see her on Housewives of Beverly Hills. But you going to help make her happen. I bet you're going to call her a force multiplier. Oh, God, you liked Teddi on the Housewives of Beverly Hills. What was there to like? When she was on, she was boring. You just love to kiss butt. Blonde bombshell, she's a stick figure at best. That heifer ain't got a hip or a curve. And her chin's sharp enough to cut cheese. Teddi, I'm glad you liked the intro, but none of it was true. So there was apparently a little shade from Gabrice and Gabrici's podcast because they said they were the #1 Housewives podcast. And Teddy's like, when you look at the numbers, it's me and Tamra. So Carlos stokes the fire. He says, so do you think they truly don't know their numbers or was it just fun shade? Oh, God, now Carlos is trying to take credit for the highest rated episode of the season for Atlanta because he had Marlo on his show and she trended. No, it was because of the trip and because they're finally getting to the meat. It's because Marlo kicked them boys out and Candy called her on it. That's why the ratings went up. It wasn't you, boo-boo. Oh! Hey, asked Teddi, where were you on January 6th? So Vicki wasn't supporting Tamra when the little podcast came out, but Vicki can't support anybody but herself. But Vicki's face can't support her, and that's why she has jowls. Her face has fallen on her, so I'm not surprised she'd fall down on the job for a friend. And Vicki tried to get Teddi fired. I guess Vicki probably wanted the job, but Vicki's too boring. So iHeartRadio told Vicki no. Plain and simple. I mean, they could do crone radio and she could talk about being 850 years old and where she finds her souls to destroy so that she can keep living. I'd be interested if she'd open up about her dark arts. So who has the biggest ego, Vanderpump or Gunvalson? And Teddi says, well, they're both different because Vicki will get in your face with it, with her jowls, and Vanderpump will get you behind the back. Carlos wants to have a deep, in-depth conversation about the little 5 minutes the heifer was on the show. Ain't that much to talk about. So Carlos says it's hard for a first-season housewife to find her footing because it's like Survivor mixed with Big Brother, and that is true. You do need an ally, and you need a plot line, and she had neither. Teddi said she was a deer in the headlights the first season. You were also tacky and boring. Oh, God, Teddi, don't start on your, if I came back now I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable speaking in Stay where you at. I'm glad your little podcast's doing okay, but stay over there. We don't want to see you again. At that point in time, I had ridden horses for a living, and you could have kept doing that. Of course she was cast on the show because John Mellencamp is her father. It's Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, they all have some connection to Hollywood. They're either actresses or they've married a big shot lawyer. But yeah, they're all connected to that world. She said, I was good at my audition. You know, I messed up the actual job, but I was good on my audition. I knew I was going to get it. I would say I don't hate Teddi Mellencamp. She's not interesting enough to hate. But she was a bore, a snore, and a chore. Did it take a toll on your mental health to be called boring, Teddi? I mean, there are so many worse things to be called. It's like, okay, I wasn't interesting on a reality show. If that makes you a terrible person, then sign me up. I don't think I'd be interesting on a reality show. Like, I crack jokes here. I don't do that crap in real life. Teddi says that she was always willing to do whatever production said, and the cast was sad when she left because she was that get up and do it girl. What did you get up and do? Why didn't they use any of this interesting film? So she got in trouble for saying that she was fired because she wasn't supposed to say that. I don't think Teddi was always the one that brought things out. I think that she did Kyle's dirty work and was trying desperately to be on the show. But when she would bring something to the table, then she'd just fade to the background because it was never her business. She thought the pregnancy was God save her job. Honey, you're a yawn drunk, so sober and pregnant you ain't gonna be interesting either. She found out she was fired on Daily Mail. So Carlos is upset that no one gave her a courtesy phone call. I feel like Bravo never really knows who they filming with until 10 minutes before they hit the set. So Carlos says he calls his people and fires them personally. I guess you had to do that with the whole cast of Love and Married Charlotte. He says, so how they fire you but keep the chip heifer? Because the chip heifer is a smidge more interesting and better fashions. So she said she was too broke to dress well her first season. Teddi Wright, she said, look, Dorits simply more glamorous. I don't have style like that, and you don't. And you don't. Today's nail color is Nini Blue. So Carlos goes hard on the chip heifer because he says she's too concerned about the opinions of others to be her messy self like she was the first 2 seasons when she made Erica cry. I don't believe Erica's crocodile tears. I think that Dorit was messy for her first 2 seasons, solidified her place on the show, and now she's like, I'll be a little messy, but I just don't feel like taking all that heat. She wants to get glammed up, make her money, but she don't want to be bothered with the stress too much. She doesn't want to be in the hot seat at the reunion. I can see why she took a step back. And you don't want to be known as the villain. Lord, Teddi gonna say the chip heifer had a good scene when her and PK was talking about the DUI that he never got charged with. That wasn't a good scene. That was the yawn of white privilege. Carlos brings up a good question. Why does Camille Grammer hate Teddi so much? I mean, Camille, you've also been kicked off the show. So I don't know why you're hating on her. It ain't like she got nothing you want. You should aim your anger at Kelsey Grammer where it belongs. Teddi said that Camille is jealous of her friendships with the other ladies. You must be talking about fake-ass Kyle. And who cares about a fake-ass Kyle? What? Camille Grammer apparently was supporting Brett Kavanaugh, and she said, I'm not going to apologize for being white. And that's why she wasn't asked back. Now, Carlos, that was some tea. Teddi says she also would backpedal and pussy pop off camera. She'd put her ass on her shoulders in front of everybody, but then behind the scenes try to be sweetness and light. So Teddi gives the season a B-. She says they've got great scenes, but we're lacking authenticity with the friendships. Like you were lacking authenticity with the plot line. She says the show feels disjointed, like whenever you have a scene, it's like that person's show rather than they're all together in an ensemble. Carlos said Garcelle don't like them heifers and they don't like her either. Her and Sutton cool, but the rest of them would rather her not be there. Teddi said when Denise and Garcelle came on, they really thought it was more of an acting job, like there would be craft services, they would get to take breaks. Like, no, this is reality. Child, Carlos asking her about, so when they bring race into a girl, she's soft, shooting sidestepped around that. I don't want to talk about anything I don't know about. I'm not minimizing nobody else's feelings. I wasn't on the show then. But I will agree with her assessment that everybody gaslights everybody on that show. Everybody's trying to get someone else to start the drama and not notice that you're pulling the strings. That's all the housewives. So Carlos again asked her, is there a place for conversations about race and politics on the show? And she talks about Crystal's eating disorder because she's like, look, I had one of those. I can talk to that. She's like, you ain't canceling me. I finally got a good gig going. So we winded it down. Carlos just let her escape with that eating disorder thing. She made no comments on race whatsoever. She was like Lil' Kim. All right, well, she says she'd still go back on the Housewives. We know you still begging Bravo heifer, but we don't want to look at you.
Alleged what? Alleged who? Allegedly, allegedly. Don't blame, don't sue. Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.